Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 21 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we finished up the first investigation portion of this case. We met Phoenix's imposter, we broke some psych locks, and now we're on to the trial. So let's go.
Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Sounds honor.
Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe.
Are you doing alright? How are you feeling?
As if you need to ask guided questions, sir.
Don't let him get you down, Maggie, and don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger.
And you? Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing the square away myself. I will summon forth Mr. Edgeworth, and he will strike you down with pay cuts and update autopsy reports. Square away some paperwork for your arrest. And Mr. Edgeworth would prosecute you, and he would win because he's Mr. Edgeworth. I think he's serious.
Hey, Detective, you're on us ever once, right?
Yup.
So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Of course! I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I doesn't measure the facts, you gotta point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me?
I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. I know I can count on you. Look, Jack, it's all go pretty smooth today, huh?
I can only wish. Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Peter.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
Ah! What's wrong? Nothing. It's just that whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating.
No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix.
I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he?
Our trusty? You act like Phoenix is like a spatula or a big spoon.
So, Mr. Godo, your opening statement, please.
Mr. Trent, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another.
As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial, nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial.
I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me.
Now then, Mr. Godo, please summon your first witness.
Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation.
Witness, state your name for this court.
Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Sorry. Anyways, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir.
Since yesterday?
Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation is tied with another case now.
I hope Gumshoe's got everything under control for everyone's sake.
I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case?
Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elk. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report.
The court accepts this into evidence.
And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poison coffee was brought in by the waitress.
The waitress being the accused.
Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo.
It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me.
Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony.
Yes, sir. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was all alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elk, was listening to the radio at the time. Here's the poison found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch! And it looks like Miss Byrne might have, well, some kind of motive. Using the darker, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. Oh, really, Godo? Like, you found that the last person you associate with who had... Kind of ironic considering what happened. Well, you'll find out in a later case.
The fact of this case seemed to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but...
Yes?
Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood?
I already told you, that wasn't me! Meanwhile, Francisca goes around whipping the judge with a whip, and meanwhile, like, no issue there. But yet Phoenix uses intimidation tactics, or rather a fake Phoenix, and yet the judge treats him like he's Quasimodo. Just lock him up in the clock tower. Can I stop you for just a minute?
Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence?
He's so desperate for that to be true. He's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table.
Yeah, that's what she said! And I...
What killer wouldn't say that it went best with the homicide conviction? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, it's true. The two testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press this point a little harder? Well, maybe the other witness just missed him. Perhaps their view of the table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, Wright. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Gittyville. Population the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef, moments after the poisoning took place, correct?
After the poisoning took place, correct?
I think the court will agree that such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Wright, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? Ugh!
It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly.
He was listening to his radio, you say?
Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket.
Maggie does that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had your earpiece.
What should I do? Should I press him on this point a little harder or not? Press everything. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe?
Huh? How should I know?
Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere.
This isn't going very well, is it?
Detective, could you perhaps tell us more about the poison, how it was used?
So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else?
Not sure I get you, pal.
Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder?
If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance.
So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee tonight?
The victim took his coffee black with no sugar.
No comment from Godo?
It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? That's harder. Are you absolutely certain that the victim ever even drank any of his coffee?
Huh? What do you mean?
According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it?
Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking.
In case you were wondering, the last objection was for the detective there.
Of for me.
Oh, hey, you're right.
Oh, hey, you're right.
You may be fooling the court, but I am not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have time to present that piece of evidence.
That piece, Toy?
Yes, that piece.
What piece was it again?
These. Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns?
Oh, now I remember. This is the,
Victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim.
Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it.
Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victims gulped it down, bit down the waitress brought to him. Like this! Ugh!
For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance.
Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is that, poison detective Gumshoe?
Well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much and you have history.
How much is too much?
A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off.
0.2 grams? How much is that?
You know when you swab your ear for earwax? Yeah, that's about much.
Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of.
Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere.
Some kind of motive.
Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown away out of proportion.
You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck at a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another.
Huh? I don't get it.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we had to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Baird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe.
They say she wanted to steal a lottery ticket.
I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too.
It disappeared from the scene of the crime.
And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000.
Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he?
But
But he told the wrong one.
then it's possible Maggie stole the winning one. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder? Yes, press it. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question.
That's the $500,000 lottery ticket. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search. Why didn't they invite me for that search? I would have done the search more than willingly. Of the defendant.
What?
Order!
Ha! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately.
I'd better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering.
This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say?
It's just a scratch of paper. What matters is where it was found. You're on that. I bet he wants to say it was found on Maggie's person.
That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime in which she was charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score.
There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to this tiring court of money.
Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie's are a pile of fast.
Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? This is an apron the delightful Miss Baird was wearing at the time.
Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen.
That stain looks like... Can't be. Blood? Can it be? Ha! It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And some has spilled coffee on herself. How wasteful! The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more.
Something else? I presume you mean...
Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket.
Yeah, and Maggie's prints were all the only ones on it.
What?
Order, order, order! The court will accept these items into evidence.
Apron added to the court record. Potassium cyanide added to the court record.
There's something still bothering me. Mr. Godo, why have you not explained the blood stain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous! No one told me about anything about the bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it! Well, detective, could this stain really be blood?
No way, Soy! It's just ketchup, Soy.
Ketchup?
She must have gone somewhere able to take someone their breakfast that day. You guys spoke up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Pull a stunt like that again, and I'll make you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness.
I thought everyone knew what I was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last verdict I ruled on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established.
Well, right. It seems we really are funny after all. Ugh! You really know how to drive a man nuts.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the courtroom the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 by a scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quickly, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good.
Yes, trying to convince the court you are a real lawyer tonight. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So, let the fun begin. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe.
There's an old man who's a regular at the Cuss restaurant where the incident happened.
We're also talking about the same old man.
Officer was dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? And then he hurled abuse him and seeds. Seeds.
Ha! It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. I guess not even the mighty Godo can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was a little late reporting the crime. How long was the defendant unconscious for?
The officer got to the crime scene around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at the time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself.
I bet you would have liked to carry out the search too.
I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that. All pretty and peaceful.
You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Oh my gosh! And then look at me burst in the courtroom. Did someone make a bird watching? Is someone else a professional bird watcher like myself? Because I watch birds on the weekend. Too bad they didn't spell like Maggie Bird. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know about is the investigation.
Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I?
You didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then?
No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet.
58 cents? Hey, that's 58 more cents than Gumshoe has.
Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal!
This is truly a day of glory for Gumshoe.
The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man.
Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. Wait a sec.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that!
He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket.
It seems Mr. Granell visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court.
What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Ask about health insurance! I need to ask this! So, the victim had no form of identification on him, correct?
Yeah.
And yet, before arriving at the restaurant, he went to see a doctor, which means he must have had his medical insurance card with him.
Oh, that's very true.
The fact that it wasn't been found points to only one obvious conclusion. The victim's medical card was stolen! Ha! True, the victim didn't have a medical insurance card. But why? Because Mr. Glenelg didn't have medical insurance to begin with. Huh?
As I thought, a thoroughly miserable young man.
Or some kind of outlaw. A bit of an edge never hurts anyone.
Looks like we're on course again, Nick.
Okay, I'm going to do the other one.
Explain for the court the events following the primary investigation.
Basically, you gotta ask for the prescription bag. Which will tell us that Glen Elk had ear medicine. Come on. So what sort of medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty. Ha! You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, Wright? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? Prescription bag for the win. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal! Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such a vile piece of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself.
Order! Well, Mr. Godo, what do you have to say to that?
Ha! That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological.
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godo?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
The day before the incident, Mr. L found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum.
Then what on earth was the prescription he was given?
It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fire print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's FDR.
Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print.
It seems Mr. Egg correctly applied some of the medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have been eating this medication. Ugh!
It seems that this medication is irrelevant to this case after all.
No!
Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll be all over!
She's right. I can't get away with an old weak objection. What should I do? What's the medication issue? Only moments ago, Mr. Godo made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medicine not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
But still would have been there. That doesn't change the fact that it could not have been found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems like a prescription drug could contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either, but it did. The possibility is undeniable. Ugh.
That's enough. Mr. Godo, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godo?
I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sorry. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant on the day of the murder. Inspector Kudo, the pigeon hater.
Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me.
Yeah, good job, Nick!
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court is now adjourned for recess.
Yes, in the course of an hour, Godo drank 11 cups of coffee. How is this man still standing?
That was close!
Anyways, I think that's a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you're going to watch this episode. Your review and I'll be on the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye.